Hi, my name's Karen Motati. So I didn't know anything about Montessori. I love it. I am full-fledged. Had my skepticism in the beginning, but now I'm full-fledged on board. My oldest child is so enthusiastic and joyful about learning, and just like when you read about the joy that Montessori puts into kids and the thirst for learning and the ability to work for 3 hours or 2 hours on an exciting project and then move on to something else rather than work at certain times. And one thing she said to me, it was last summer, my oldest child's in 2nd grade this year. Last summer she was at horse camp, which to me seems like the creme de la creme of camps. And she's like, "Mom, I miss school." She loves school. I never have any battles coming to school.
I first heard about Montessori education when my wife and I were both working parents looking for daycare for our 2.5-year-old at the time, and we were starting to become dissatisfied with regular daycare and looking for something that would have a bigger educational component, and we ran into a Montessori program almost by accident, and we loved it right from the very beginning, and we put our daughter in. And 6 years later, she's still in a Montessori program, now in elementary. My experience as a Montessori parent has been wonderful. I love the way my children are part of a community in the classroom, and I also love the rapport that I have with the Montessori guides and administration and the community of other Montessori parents. I'm always running into other parents who have kids in Montessori classrooms, and the kids seem to find each other quickly and latch on to each other, and the parents love each other, and it's been great. I think the best thing that my daughter's received being in a Montessori environment is a sense of independence in being able to satisfy her own curiosity about the world. She has the skills and the interest to be able to go out and answer the questions that naturally arise to her. She loves to read and find out other things that are going on in the world and explore, and I think that's great. Describing a Montessori environment to parents who have only had their children in a traditional school environment can be difficult, but I usually talk about the way the children get to work in the classroom in small groups or by themselves, the difference between a more traditional teacher-oriented environment versus a child-oriented learning environment, where the children take charge in the classroom and really seek out the materials. They get a lot of time to spend working on what interests them instead of having an artificial time boundary put on. They really get to pursue their interests and really take advantage of that compulsion to learn that I think children of that age all have.
A friend of mine who has, I think, at least 5 degrees, she's a clinical psychologist, did a lot of research for her children and found out about Child Peace and chose to send her children here. And then when I had my first, I thought, well, she's the one with 5 degrees. She must know what she's looking at. It's wonderful. Both my girls have been in Montessori since they were 18 months old, and my oldest is now a 5th grader, and my youngest is a 2nd grader. It's just, I'm so impressed with the amount that they learn and the way that they learn. I'm a little bit jealous that I went to public school, and I didn't get to learn the way they learn and their love of learning. I think that they have the ability to ask the questions and are not afraid to go and find the answers.
The more I learned about it, the more I realized it was perfect for our child, and it was the best kind of education that we could possibly offer, because it follows, the basic premise is to follow the child. And we have a pretty active boy, and he's got a lot of energy. And you know, I know that there are some people who are sort of concerned that, well, if you've got a boy and they've got a lot of energy, that they're not going to do well in the Montessori classroom. But I'll tell you what, it is the perfect environment for our child. It is a perfect environment for him because he can choose what he's interested in. And he has strong interests, so he goes from one thing to another. So the teachers in Montessori really follow him and respect his dignity, which I think is really important and is lacking in a lot of ways.
You know, I didn't know about Montessori. I didn't know anything about it. I think Montessori's been an amazing match for him, the kind of learner he is. It challenges him in the sense to develop that inner curiosity and then apply it to the world around him. And there's just also other aspects, the idea of taking responsibility for your learning, taking responsibility for your actions in life. It's also, there's the social aspect of it. Learning is not just an individual thing. You learn with others, and I appreciate that. I think he does too, that it's a social thing. We learn from each other, we learn with each other. So.